What's up? Welcome back. This is the latest edition of the HeelCast. I am your host this week, the RAV. Last week I couldn't be here because I was watching the AVE. Had a little too much fun. It is a day of WrestleMania. The Hardys just returned. Unfortunately, the RAV is watching this show I don't like to admit to watch. But speaking of watching the WWE, with me this week, I got my man Chef, who will be watching Raw tomorrow night and live tweeting it. Chef, what's up, man?
I'm chilling, baby. Monday Night Chef is in the motherfucking building.
That's right. What the hell, man? I guess I got something I got to bring up here in a minute, but also with us this week, we got the one and only, the real FK9. FK9, what's up?
What's up is Karen, Jarrett, and ODB have now returned to Impact Wrestling Television, so you better grab a raincoat if you got one, because the vomit is going to fly.
I've already been, kind of waddling around in the FK9 vomit. I look like straight out of the Exorcist movie. Got more split pea soup all over me than I can imagine. All right, so the RIV's been gone for a few weeks, but seriously, what the hell has happened? We got people complaining over Kyle saying some shit, and now we got people complaining about Chef dropping F-bombs at Chef. He's from the hood, man. He keeps it real. Honestly, this is the HeelCast. Go find the Babyface cast, guys. For real. Oh, wait, there is no babyface cast. Raven Effect wants to go full-blown Nate Diaz and not be surprised, motherfuckers. But, why are people complaining about the language on the HeelCast? It's the HeelCast. That's just all I'm saying. But, I've just been shocked. I just want to kind of go off, but we thank everyone that listens and supports. I'm sorry if people have been offended, but, we keep it real and raw around here. Am I right?
Absolutely. Raw. Monday Night Raw, you're going to have the Chef. And fuck you bitches that got a problem.
I do want to say I'm embarrassed to admit that I've watched WrestleMania this whole time. This is the first time I've actually full-on watched some WWE programming since 2012. Full-on watched it. I watched the Royal Rumble match. I always watch the Hall of Fame. This is the first actual event. I got to say I'm not too impressed. I do not love this show, and I do not love our listeners as much to actually go through with the punishment that Chef is going to endure tomorrow, sitting through 3 hours of Monday Night Raw and live tweeting it. No offense, I don't love anyone that much.
Speaking as a guy who actually does still watch Raw most weeks, the biggest challenge that Chef is facing himself tomorrow night is just staying awake. Because that's a challenge that I can't exactly meet most weeks these days.
The best part is, Chef, you're not watching WrestleMania, but odds are, because every time I used to watch WWE, you'll probably get to see every single match except for maybe Goldberg and Lesnar. You'll get to see it all again tomorrow night on Raw and or SmackDown the following day, because, that's what they do. It's no matches are special because basically they just show the exact same matches next week. What will be special, though, is Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards' last man standing match this coming Thursday. But as we progress, let's go on. Check out ImpactAsylum.net. It is back. It is running. Also at ImpactAsylum.net, you can always find our man right here, FK9, with straight shooting. I checked it out this morning. Bring up some stuff with FK9 perhaps through the show. Maybe bring up little things that I hear him say. Check out Diva Dirt with our man Numero 47. Check out Chef's Boy at Robert Does Wrestling. The HeelCast does want to give a special shout out to BQ. King of the Mountain podcast is no more, at least at this time. BQ, we know that you got some serious family issues going on. We wish you the best in behalf of Raven Effect, Brother _ FK9, Chef, Kyle especially, Hurls, Griggs at the HeelCast. We do just want to wish you the best of all luck and hope to get you back soon. You're always welcome to come on here, hang out with us a little bit if you ever get around to it. But best wishes to BQ and his family out there, everyone. Now, guys, we'll head into the news here. We don't have a whole lot of TNA-related news. Sorry, Impact-related news. We'll start off with basically most of our news is former TNA talent, but one thing that I'm not going to be negative about is, look, two guys who performed for TNA Impact Wrestling in the past, Two of the all-time greats in the professional wrestling business and industry got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this past Friday. My man DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, our man Kurt Angle, FK9. You have any thoughts you want to say on this one?
Well, I've never really cared a whole lot about the Hall of Fame, to be honest, but I do care about Kurt Angle. I care about DDP. I was a WCW guy back in the Monday Night Wars. I was always a big DDP fan. I always liked that guy. So it's nice to see them get a little moment in the spotlight to kind of say thank you to all the fans and whatnot. Don't really have a lot to say. Just congratulations to both of them.
Chef, anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to say self high five, and that's all I'm going to say.
I love it. For me, the WWE Hall of Fame is like the one thing that I've always watched. Because, look, I was born in 1984. When I was about 3 or 4 years old, I started watching pro wrestling. And when I was a little kid, the WWF was king. And really, for me, I watched WWF, WWE religiously probably till about like 2005, 2006. But even then, I still watched it regularly until I just fucking couldn't watch it anymore. But the Hall of Fame, it means a lot to me. So even though I think it's kind of a lot of bullshit, but it still means a lot to me, and I still check this out every year. Diamond Dallas Page, a guy that I think they treated like shit in that company, but what he did in WCW, he's full-on Hall of Famer. TNA used him right. That was one thing that made me attracted to TNA so much. I do apologize. You can tell my voice. Raven Effect has another sinus infection. It seems I'm sick all the time, so I apologize for my weird voice. But DDP was just the man. And TNA used him right. And it's good to see that guy go into the Hall of Fame. It's complete bullshit that they still can't play his real WCW theme song. Maybe stolen from Kurt Cobain and Nirvana a little bit, but hey, we know you got billions, Vince. And Kurt Angle, obviously the guy deserves it. I thought he had a great speech. I loved him pouring the milk all over his suit. Kind of felt like a waste of that nice suit. But, the only thing that irked me a little bit was there was not even a hint towards his TNA career. Sting hinted at that, and Kurt didn't. But I guess, the other part of it is, he could have really brought it up and ignored it and, kind of shit on it. So, I'm not going to hate on Kurt for that too much because he could have went a different route and really just completely ignored it. So he just kept it straight WWE. He didn't talk about anything he had done post-WWE. So, I think given with what he probably was allowed to say or couldn't say, I want to give Kurt Angle props on that. But I don't know if any of you guys or anyone out there has actually watched the WWE Blu-ray or DVD that they put out on Team 3D or the Dudleys. Bubba Ray, Bully Ray fully goes on to mention and talk about TNA, and they mentioned TNA multiple times by name on that DVD. So I was kind of thinking maybe we'll get to see Kurt say anything, but he didn't. But congrats to Kurt, DDP. We saw Rock and Roll Express on TNA TV a few months back. They got in, so congrats to them. Like they're still the big time. They're still the big company. So for two former TNA talents to get on like that, it's definitely impressive. Another former TNA talent that we thought may at some point return or maybe do the World of Sport was Drew Galloway. Drew Galloway is not going to be back at Impact anytime soon. He was spotted at the NXT TakeOver show last night while the North Carolina Tar Heels of Chef's boys beat my Oregon Ducks because we can't get a fucking rebound. But so Drew Galloway chose NXT, not even WWE's main roster, but to go back to NXT over the World of Sport after coming back to Impact. Like, we know what he was offered, what the role was for him. He was going to get that big, huge main event push that Alberto El Patron's kind of getting right now. Chef, I know you got some colorful feelings on this one. What do you think about Drew Galloway going back to NXT of all places?
First off, all I want to say is the man's not even allowed to be Galloway. Like, he's going back to the name they buried him with, McIntyre. He left the company on the main roster, and now he's going back to NXT, the place that, they say it's for talent that's not that good to, get some exposure and learn the fucking industry. And you're getting these, polished dudes like the Bobby Roodes and the Drew Galloways. Like, what a slap in the face it is to Drew Galloway to go back to, like a developmental You know what I mean? Like, yo, just throw the 3-man band back together. Let them bury him a second time. Like, you know what, Drew, you was all right, but you can kiss my ass too.
It is kind of depressing to see Drew showing up on NXT. Not even on the main roster, really. He's going back to the developmental company. Okay. So I guess with a lot of hard work and a little bit of luck, he'll be able to work his way back up to the main roster, back up to the big league, so he can get that 3MB reunion that he was obviously jonesing for so much that he walked away from a main event spot on Impact.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I guess that's what people want. I mean, I guess your goal is to get back to that company for some reason. I saw when I first started watching, when Drew McIntyre was first in the WWE, I thought, okay, this guy's got all the tools. He has a cool entrance song. I would have swore this guy would have been something big in that company. And then I just watched him get buried and go downhill. And then it was like the guy became obscure, apparently, with the 3-man band. Last time I had watched WWE, it was a 1-man band with Heath Slater. It was always a travesty the way that they buried the guy, and I can't believe that he wants to come back to that. And not even the main roster, but you're going back to Drew McIntyre to NXT, which is like their fucking slap in the face. Like you're not good enough or ready to get called up to the main roster, so our writers can just embarrass you. Like, you can't tell me Bobby Roode isn't better than half of this fucking roster. No, fuck that. Bobby Roode isn't better than 99.99% of their main roster. I just watched Austin Aries' job in the opening match, which pissed me off too. But it's just
that was a pre-show, actually.
Yeah, the pre-show. Of course, Austin Aries loses to some guy that he's better than. And I'm not going to take anything away because that dude he wrestled was pretty decent, but he's Austin goddamn Aries. But I don't get it with Galloway or McIntyre. I think, like, the Impact thing, the world of sport, and he shunned the ICW. He shunned them out too. And I mean, for the companies that really did a lot for you when nobody wanted you and they built you up to be a star. Because let's be real, guys. When Drew Galloway came out and cashed in and beat Matt Hardy for that belt, we were all kind of sick of Drew. Nobody cared about standing up for wrestling. It was stupid. Did I do Kyle homage? Did I sound Hispanic, Italian, or Irish with that? But it's just whatever. And the thing too is, like, people are shitting on Drew Galloway. Like, oh, his wife beat him up, and that's why. Was he supposed to fucking hit his wife back? Like, everyone's like, oh, Taryn Jarrell kicked Drew Galloway's ass. Like, dude, and he got heat for it. Like, maybe he did the right thing and didn't hit his old lady back at the time. I don't know. I'm just saying, because I still have a hard time thinking she could kick his ass in a real fight. But, it is what it is. So, guys, anything else? Any other comments on Drew Galloway before we move on to some other former talent?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm pre-ordering my 3MB reunion tour T-shirt as we speak.
Oh goodness! 3-man band, baby. So I read this article on, I think it was Friday or Saturday, but it was Jeff Hardy, and you know what? Jeff Hardy was very complimentary at TNA. He was. He didn't knock the company. He said he was pretty heartbroken that right now he can't use Brother Nero because Brother Nero is his middle name. He said that the company supported him through good times and bad times and real rough times in his life for 7 years. And then he had nothing bad to say. Brother Jeffrey Nero Hardy also said that they are signed with Ring of Honor. They are not going to be in the WWE anytime soon. So I'm watching WrestleMania, and the New Day comes out and says this ladder match is going to be a 4-way match. And I know for a fucking fact who's coming out, but wow. Out come Brother Nero and Broken Matt Hardy, who won the Raw World Tag Team Championship. So I know our boy Chef is going to have a lot of fun with that one tomorrow night watching Raw. But, guys, the Hardys liars, apparently they dropped the belts to the Young Bucks last night at the Ring of Honor show, but the Hardys returned to WWE. Anyone want to fucking point fingers at Impact now and say they did the wrong thing and hate on Impact because now the WWE is going to get this gimmick and that they want 10% so they can go and make money for the evil empire. I want to say fuck you to everyone who had a problem with Impact Wrestling doing what they did on this now, because the Hardys were lying the whole time about going back to the WWE, and the WWE is going to try and capitalize on it. It's going to be ruined, but I'm going to start with FK9 because I know Chef's going to drop the hammer on it, but FK9, what are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts are I'm going to get kind of a sadistic pleasure in watching Vince McMahon dig his claws into the broken gimmick and completely butcher it. Because that's what's going to happen. Either that or he'll just completely throw it out because he doesn't get it. Because that is the kind of thing that Vince would just not understand. Shout out to the Hardys for doing 2 ladder matches in 2 days, I guess. They're probably in a lot of pain right now, but yeah, I guess they wanted the money. They wanted the big payday. I don't know how long I don't know how long their run is gonna be, but I guess they do deserve a little bit of credit for in one match eclipsing the Dudley Boys' entire previous run in the company. Didn't take much because, well, the Dudley's last run really sucked. But yeah, it is really unfortunate to see them go back there. It was kind of a cool moment, but anyone who thinks this is going to go well for them ultimately in terms of like the broken gimmick being treated well, yeah, you're fooling yourself.
Listen, there's 2 things I want to say about this. One, thank God the WWE took them, because I don't got to see these fucking scrubs no more. I'm tired of these stupid-ass bullshit. Flat out tired of the dumbass gimmick. It's some goofy shit that belongs over there. That's just it. I don't get to see it no more, thank God, even though I'm tortured and have to watch 3 fucking hours of this mess. But 2, these motherfuckers is straight-up trash-ass liars. Like, for all you motherfucking idiots on Twitter, on my TNA Mafia, why you bashing these motherfuckers? Because they don't give a fuck about you, because they straight lie to you as much as possible, just like their dumb fucking witch that sits behind them. And, it's like a family of motherfucking liars. So enjoy these stupid liars, these money-hungry bitches, and keep them the fuck away from me. Impact Wrestling all day. Fuck WWE. Fuck ROH too.
So after that rant, Chef, since I'm running things tonight, you don't have to sit through 3 hours of SmackDown for dropping the F-bombs all you want. This is the HeelCast. That's all I'm saying. But this is all I'm going to say for real. Like, everyone wants to say, oh, no, TNA didn't have the biggest gimmick. The broken stuff wasn't big. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. At the fucking Hall of Fame, Kurt Angle mentions the Hardy Boys. You hear, delete, delete, delete. They show up. Matt Hardy throws his finger in the air 3 times. You hear the crowd go, delete, delete, delete. During this match, there's a chant going on by the crowd of Brother Nero. So, like, all the people that want to hate on TNA and Impact and said that it wasn't big and that the Hardys weren't big, which now they say it is the biggest thing that there was in wrestling, but look, the Hardys got over. I'm not taking a shot at Chef for hating on it, not saying it didn't bring in viewers, because really it didn't. But people knew what it was, and they knew what was going on, and you hear the chant. They're in TNA country right now. They're in TNA's front yard, backyard, side yard, and it's sad that TNA couldn't put on a show this weekend when everyone else was out there for Mania weekends. But, the Hardys, it was kind of obvious they were going to go back. And, I think, Jeff had said that he had a good deal worked out with Impact, and he said that Matt didn't, and then they kind of got back and forth with it. Impact was late with the negotiations and all that, but we knew where you were going. And, for them to say ROH gave them the biggest contract they've ever given, like, for what? Did this even last, like, more than a month or 2? The Hardys and Ring of Honor, did that last more than 2 months?
They couldn't have had more than 3 or 4 matches in ROH.
Right? And they came in and I know that they beat the Briscoes. I read that. They went in and beat one of their 2 top tag teams. They beat the Young Bucks. And then, of course, the Young Bucks beat them. But why would Ring of Honor talent go over? Of course, it has to be New Japan talent that goes over, because the Young Bucks are New Japan and Bullet Club bullshit. But, it's just, I still love Jeff Hardy to death, man, but fuck the Hardys. Like, this was sickening. It really was. And, it's to be predicted. But, look.
Raven, can I ask you something, Raven?
Of course.
All right. In ROH, did they have any of the Hardy House compound shit?
I'll be honest, dude. After Bully Ray and the Hardys signed there, and the whole "fuck TNA" chant came back, I refused to watch Ring of Honor again. So
All right, I'm just curious because the most over it's ever going to be is when it first started. Because I mean, let's face it, when it first started, that shit was pretty hot because it was something different. So you're never going to get that again because it started here. So if Ring of Honor did do it, that's fine, whatever. I doubt you're going to have the Hardy house against Bray Wyatt because he's got his little beef with what the fuck is this? I don't fucking remember his whatever the fuck he's fighting. But there's no point. Like Bray Wyatt is not even in the tag team division, so there's no point of even trying to have a Hardy compound. And you think WWE is really gonna? Yo, I can't see it. I can't see the Hardys being more over there than when they were in Impact. And obviously, look, I'm not a fan of the shit, but the shit was hot here. And everyone was into it. Everyone was doing the whole stupid delete thing. They were doing delete in ROH. They're doing delete before the fucking Hardys were even in WWE. When they were still in Impact, they're doing delete shit, having signed. So all these fucking marks that are saying, oh, well, it's never been as big. Listen, you fucking morons. You were doing it before it even came to your product.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so Chev, you're asking this question. I want to ask FK9 a question now. Dude, when Bray Wyatt has wrestling matches, does it all of a sudden just go blank and show a bunch of maggots and worms in the ring and be all weird and shit? Or is this like a first during this match?
Is that what happened?
Dude, Randy Orton was down, like, laying in the ring, and then, like, the arena goes dark, and then it's like, it's the ring canvas is just a bunch of maggots. And then later, Orton's laying down, and Husky Harris and IRS's kid that they're trying to make out to be some backwoods motherfucker. We know you're IRS's kid, dude. You're born fucking rich. Like, he's laying in the corner, and Orton's on the ground, and then there's, like, it goes dark, and there's a bunch of worms and shit in the ring, and it just looks stupid and distracting. Like, you thought the menagerie shit was bad and dumb? But, like, this is great. They didn't have the stupid fucking music playing, and, like, but it was more distracting than this shit. It was like, I don't know if I'm watching Randy Orton or if I'm watching a bunch of fucking maggots.
Like National Geographic out there.
As far as I know, the maggot thing is new. That might be just like something they did for like a quote unquote WrestleMania moment, albeit a pretty bizarre one. But no, I don't think he's ever done that before. Granted, he's on SmackDown now, which I don't watch. The last time I saw Bray Wyatt doing anything, he was still earning the hashtag I coined, the new farce of fear. He calls himself the new face of fear. I was like, I'm a god. I am I'm the god. I'm devil incarnate. I am pure evil. And he loses all the fucking time. That's what he is. He's the guy who talks a big game and then never follows through on anything. So if they wanted to add a bunch of maggots to his act, okay, I guess he could use a few props because there's only so much that his smoke and mirrors routine can cover up.
It literally just went dark, and then there was a bunch of cockroaches now, just as you were speaking. And then an RKO out of nowhere, and a new champion. So the jobber that won the belt that you were talking about just, of course, lost it. But very meaningful title reign to have AJ Styles to John Cena to this guy to fucking Husky Harris to Randy Orton. 4 new champs in like a month or two. But, yeah. Anyways, let's stop straying about the bullshit. So the other thing, and I forgot this on the itinerary, but all the Jim Ross to Impact Wrestling rumors and speculation needs to be put to bed too, as JR will be commentating tonight at WrestleMania 1 match. I hope to God this show's coming to a close pretty soon, but I assume Jim Ross is going to come out. And so the rumor is Jim Ross signed a new contract with them, which I find sickening. I think this company has humiliated Jim Ross too much. I think they've treated him like shit. The guy got fired because Ric Flair is a low-life piece of shit that can't grow up at like 70-something years old. JR won't be coming to Impact. I can't even remember the heat that Jim Ross supposedly got from TNA, but I thought it was like WWE heat stupid. Chef, your thoughts on this one at all? If you have any?
Nah, I don't got nothing to say on this.
FK9?
I'm very impressed that JR is going to be commentating on a match when his wife just passed away last week? That guy must really love his job.
Or his wife. That was fucked up to say.
Well, hey, either way, I'm not going to say anything bad about Jim Ross. I kind of wish he hadn't gone back to a company that's treated him like garbage over the years and humiliated him over and over. It is probably going to happen again. I'm pretty sure because it's one of Vince's favorite pastimes is humiliating Jim Ross. So I'll expect that'll happen again at some point. And well, I guess Jim Ross has no one to blame but himself for going back for more punishment. I guess could have been treated better at Impact, but hey, what's done is done.
Yeah, definitely. Now, look, we've mentioned the Hardys, we've mentioned Drew Galloway. We've mentioned Jim Ross. We've mentioned all this star power and names that we've lost. But just when you think Impact was kind of down and out and, there was no more big names you got, Impact Wrestling has apparently came to terms with a contract with Mario Bocara and Fala Blah 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 Fala. A.K.A. that dude who looked like Rafi from The League and I think the reincarnation of Yokozuna. It was either the reincarnation of Yokozuna or it was Fat Heath Slater, one of the two. But the guys you saw do the job to Mahabali Share a couple weeks, two of those three guys signed with us. I love The League. Rafi is like my favorite character ever. I didn't know he could wrestle. Fala Blah, he said, it's a pretty festive name for a guy who probably doesn't celebrate Christmas. So I just, I don't. FK9, your thoughts on this one?
Was Mario Bocara the Croatian dude?
Was that Rafi or the fat white dude?
No, Mario Bocara is the Croatian guy.
Okay, man, I remember watching that match and thinking, "There's no way in hell I'm ever going to remember these guys' names." Okay, I guess that's a new tag team to add to the mix, presumably. Okay, good. I need to see more of these guys before I can make any kind of judgment on them, but I guess they do need a couple more tag teams. Maybe, hopefully they'll change their names into something that's easier to remember. Aside from that, the first time we saw them, they're jobbing to Mahabali Shera, so probably not the best debut they could have asked for.
Yeah, very true. Chef, any thoughts on these two future Hall of Famers?
All right, the Mario Bocara guy, I'm not even going to stunt like I know who this guy is. I don't know. But the Falaba guy, like Kyle's a big fan of this dude. So he was like, yo, bro, look at, I can't remember. He made me YouTube this fucking guy. And I ain't going to lie, like some of the shit he did, I was like, wow, this guy's fucking, he's pretty fucking athletic for a big dude. So I was impressed. I actually kind of like the guy. I'm not going to say I'm a fan yet, but I can see myself definitely rooting for Falaba in a short period of time.
Is Falaba the one that looks like Yokozuna?
Yes, sir. That is the heavy guy.
All right. So Mario is not Fat Heath Slater. He's Rafi from The League, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. I'm glad we got Rafi from The League instead of fucking Fat Heath Slater. Because every time I see this dude wrestle, I'm going to think about Rafi from The League. It was like my favorite character in the history of television. So at least I'll laugh every time I see this dude. So,
dude, Rafi from The League is so fucking out there, bro. Like, now you got me fucked up with this guy.
Dude, like, for real, Rafi and Dirty Randy should have got their own spinoff show, or at least just Rafi. But I'm not saying Rafi, Dirty Randy 2020, they can beat Trump and Pence.
Holy shit. There's no way. Like, yo, dude, this country it'd be crazy.
Fear boners for all. All right. So we're going to talk about fear boners. So we hop into Impact, it starts, and Karen Jarrett sparks a fear boner as she walks into the room. Basically, we get this opening segment with Josh and JB bickering back and forth. Karen saying that she's looking for Sienna. Anyone want to say anything on the little opening sketch before we hop to what happens next?
Nope.
I think the opening segment was done just to reiterate how much everybody in Impact Management hates Josh Matthews. Which, okay, I'm not sure why that was necessary, because I think we all pretty much got that impression from the last couple of weeks, right?
No, I had no idea.
You know what? And I got to say this. I'm actually disappointed in you guys last week. All right? You guys were saying this guy did a great job. Maybe I'm just a fucking full-blown Josh Matthews hater. But I was like, what the fuck happened with my boys on the HeelCast? Like, giving this guy props. I was like, this guy is such a douche. I can't stand this fucking guy, man. Fuck Josh Matthews.
To be fair, neither myself nor FK9 was on the HeelCast last week.
I know. I just wanted to clarify that I was like, yo, what the fuck happened? Like, we're off the show and all of a sudden Josh Matthews is getting praised. Like, there's not enough drugs on this motherfucking planet that would make me understand that shit.
The HeelCast went soft when when the heat got brought on us for being too offensive. They were like, let's slow it down now, guys. Let's give Josh Matthews some credit here. We might curse too much and have to have someone watch SmackDown. Y'all went soft. You know, the one thing I do want to say to you guys before we go into the first segment is, because I haven't had a chance to say this, but I want to say these impacts, not the very first one under the new management, but from the second one on, I will say this, like, these shows have been very entertaining. I think they've flown by, and I just think they've been fun, which is something that we've kind of, lost track in, and may have floated away. So these shows have been very fun. I'm going to take a pause here for a second. All right, FK9's going to stop here, Chef.
All right.
Baby.
Hold on, I got to ask. My neighbor was watching WWE, and I know you guys were. Yo, what the fuck was up with these maggots? The one from fucking Bray Wyatt versus...
I haven't seen it yet. Shut up.
Oh, my fault. I thought you was watching it.
I know, but I started it late.
Oh, what the fuck? Now I'm ready to start bitching to you because I'm actually doing an Impact podcast right now shitting on WWE.
Oh, because the Hardy Boys is now the new...
Oh, man, you know me. Fuck the Hardy Boys. Like, those bitches, like... I swear, I can't stand them motherfuckers.
Also, now the new WWE Tag Team Champions.
What a waste.
Only of Raw.
Oh, yeah, of Raw. Like, what a fucking waste. Like...
You got better...
Dude, the new gay sucks. The new gay sucks. Fucking the Hardys are fucking 500 fucking years old, and the guy, he's still Fat Hardy. And who else you guys got?
The Club.
Well, they inducted Kurt Angle into the Hall of Fame.
No, that's cool. Kurt Angle, DDP, those are my niggas. Like, they're all right. You guys have the bullshit club that's not even Bullet. You got... Yeah, oh, no, yeah, because...
I don't watch it religiously. I just like watching the wrestling.
You guys have a club with no bullets.
Like Johnson just proposed to Nikki Bella.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's all right. I can deal with that because that's his lady. That's all right. That's pretty cool.
It was scripted.
I was told it was crazy scripted. I have my people on the other side of the phone and they're like, go ham right now.
Guys, we're recording.
I just like watching.
Oh, my fault. All right, we're recording. I'm sorry.
Chef keeping it real here. So, take a pause break here, guys. Out comes old Willie Goldberg. Chef having a spirited convo with his WWE fan neighbors next door. Now, we go to the ring. Karen Jarrett was looking for Sienna. The bad bitch herself, Sienna, came out. That bitch got class, too, by the way. So Sienna comes out. And, Karen kind of bewilders Sienna, verbally, which is kind of, it's kind of on some weak shit. And then, so, isn't it Karen gives her like a 15-second, you got 15 seconds to say you're sorry or whatnot. So out comes this new dude, KM. From what I understood during when these tapings were coming out, his name was Kevin Matthews. So KM comes out. He's revealed as Sienna's cousin. If I were Sienna's cousin and my name was KM, I would wish I was from Arkansas or Alabama or some shit like that. But so KM comes out and, he's kind of like, exactly who I am. And Karen looks legitimately scared, like there's about to be some domestic violence type shit go down. And then, of course, everyone's favorite wrestler, Braxton Sutter, with that sidekick that doesn't really get TV talk time anymore. Allie comes out. They make the save. I'm going to go ahead and I want to start with Chef. Your thoughts on this stuff, because I've heard FK9's, and I don't know what FK9 say is, because he had some pretty colorful stuff on this segment. So, Chef, your thoughts on this?
I'm going to keep this short and quick because I want to hear FK9 shit because I thought it was hilarious myself. So I dig FK9 coming at her like, fuck this shit, not playing into the whole, yeah, you're the boss's wife and none of that other bullshit. Like he's ready to go crazy. And on a short note, that KM is from Brooklyn, New York. So I just want to say much love to Brooklyn. KM, welcome to the Impact Zone. FK9 kill it.
Okay, FYI, I found out we were recording about an hour before we started, so these are just, I didn't have time to prepare. These are just my raw, unfiltered thoughts. But there were a lot of problems with this segment. First and foremost, the whole thing is dependent on us liking Karen, which is really not going to happen. Because Jeff Jarrett, he puts Karen on a pedestal. He looks at her like he's got stars in his eyes every time he sees her. So he's not really cognizant of how irritating this woman actually is. And nobody else in the company seems willing to explain that to him because they want to keep their jobs, I guess. So this is what we're left with. We got Karen coming out here playing the good guy, playing the hero, playing the babyface that we should all rally behind. And why shouldn't we? Because she's so integral to the success of the company. She's so integral that if anything ever happened to her, the whole company would collapse under its own weight, or that's what they'd have us believe anyway. So, first of all, she says that with the departure of Maria, there's been a whole lot of bullying behavior. She uses this word, bullying behavior, in the Knockout division. The irony of Karen lecturing somebody else on being a bully. Yeah, let that sink in for a minute. So, she calls out Sienna, because apparently Sienna has been the bully, apparently off-screen or something. Which it's weird because if you think about it, Sienna really hasn't been that much of a bully as far as we've seen. If you want to get technical, I mean, Laurel Van Ness has probably been more of a bully. All Sienna has really done was threaten Allie and Braxton Sutter one time, and that's really it. So the whole thing feels kind of awkward in the first place. But then, Karen starts to... She starts to lecture Sienna, and the whole thing sounds like a bunch of bullshit. And Sienna, God bless Sienna. And this is the great thing about Sienna finally getting to talk for herself, because she don't hold back. This girl can trash talk. And she really lets Karen have it. She said, look, I got here on my talent, on my merit, on my class. You're here because of who you married, who you slept with. And Karen gets all offended. Yeah, imagine that. So she's like, I'm going to give you to the count of 15 to apologize. Apologize for what? Telling the fucking truth? Seriously. What about what Sienna said was untrue? We all know how Karen got there. She got there because she was married to Kurt Angle, and she stayed there because she was married to Jeff Jarrett. What about that was in any way untrue? I don't know. But hey, hashtag revisionist history. We're going to be getting a lot of that with Karen. So she gives her to the count of 15, and Sienna's not having it at all. Doesn't get to the count of 15 because this big, jacked up 6'8" motherfucker comes out. Instantly, he's the biggest hero in the Impact Zone, gets right in Karen's face, tells her to shut the hell up. I'm jumping out of my seat and cheering this guy on already. And of course, Karen, she's looking all timid and frightened and everything to try to garner sympathy or whatever. I'm not buying it. Sienna's not buying it. KM sure as hell not buying it because the dude is awesome. But before anything can actually happen, Braxton Sutter and Allie come out to protect Karen because God knows we always have to protect Karen. Because if anything would ever happen to her, if one hair was ever out of place on Karen, well, the company would be done for because she's integral. That's what they said, integral. And so they run off the people who are supposed to be the heels but are actually the baby faces. And now that Karen has somebody to hide behind, now she's got her voice back. She said now she's pissed off, and she's going to take revenge. So she says, KM, how dare you? How dare you? What, you want to talk to a woman like that? You want to talk to a woman like that? Well, I'm going to put you in a match with Braxton Sutter later. How you like that? And what's funny about that is that Karen is acting all offended because KM had the audacity to talk to a woman like that when, by Karen's own admission, she is not even a woman. Several years ago, on this very show, back when it was still TNA, she went out to the ring and cut a promo, and in front of the whole world, she claimed that she has giant male genitalia. So, she's not even a real woman, so her Her getting offended about that is bullshit anyway. I've got a soundbite about that on my other computer if you guys want to hear it. I got proof. She said it. She can't take it back. So anyway, what we can all take away from this is that Sienna don't take no shit. KM is awesome. Big KM. Hell, fucking hashtag KM for champ after that segment. This guy is my fucking hero. Stood up to Karen Jarrett like that. Hell yeah. And Karen Jarrett comes off like a giant hypocrite. She's still annoying as hell. And smart money is on Jeff Jarrett, not understanding that at all. So I guess we've got more of that to look forward to in the coming weeks and months and probably years. But the silver lining is that at least we've got Sienna and KM who aren't taking any of Karen's shit. God bless those two. I just wish we could get more of them and less of Karen. And that's about all I got, I think.
I want to be on record to say that was the greatest FK9 rant I've ever heard in my life. And I'm glad I'm a part of it because that was fucking awesome.
Thanks. I was saving that up for about a week. Because I wanted to be on the show last week and unload all that. So I was just saving it up. I was letting it bubble up like a nuclear reactor.
I'm just going to go ahead and do a play-by-play here for you that have missed it, because I've been watching this Lesnar-Goldberg. So it has literally went. I will call this exactly how this matches went. Belly-to-back suplex. Belly-to-back suplex. Spear. Spear. Spear through a table. Spear. Jackhammer. Belly-to-back suplex. Belly-to-back suplex. Belly-to-back suplex. Belly-to-back suplex. We are caught up. That is literally all this match has been. There's literally not been a move other than a fucking spear, a jackhammer, or a suplex. A belly-to-back suplex. This is the worst shit I have ever seen.
Man, that's why I didn't mind missing the show. That's why I didn't mind skipping the show to record this one, because I didn't want to see Lesnar Goldberg at WrestleMania again in the first place. I didn't like it the first time they did it.
I know. It sucked. Dude, okay, so since I've said that, there's been 3 more belly-to-back suplexes. The crowd is eating this shit. The crowd is going fucking bonkers. Like, this is why the WWE audience is stupid.
And that's why it gets me mad when people diss the Impact Zone. Like, first off, we're not going to cheer
F5.
for every motherfucker that's there. You know what I mean? Like, all these people do is they just cheer for whatever the fuck they see because they're fucking programmed that way.
And that match is now over with F5. Literally, there were 4 different moves used in this match.
Wait, so Lesnar's the champ now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, after that...
So they made him look...
Does this mean that Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker is the main event?
Oh, yeah, that shit still has to go on.
Oh, jeez.
My God.
Dude, this was by far the worst heavyweight championship in WrestleMania history, which I called on this show. But I just want to say, like, Chef, yeah, thank you, dude. Like, maybe Impact crowd looks a whole lot smarter after watching the crowd just go nuts. For just literally, dude, there was nothing. There wasn't even a fucking punch or a kick in this match. It was straight belly-to-back suplexes. I think Brock probably hit a total of 10. And F5, there were 4 spears and a jackhammer.
How much says
That was
that
it,
all these dirt sheets and shit like that, all these little fucking bloggers are going to be like, it was a 5-star match.
Well, it was a 4-star because the Goldberg speared Lesnar. He went through part of the barricade. When I fucking got on the internet, dude, to fucking write down the shit that happened on Impact and write this down, I think it's like WrestleView or some shit that I was on. Like, the review that they're doing is completely bashing Impact the entire time, which is like, of course, this is part of the reason why Impact's going to have trouble growing, because people are going to just write it and talk shit about it as they're doing it because of bullshit sites like this. But yet they fucking suck the dick right off at the WWE to put on this fucking bullshit and garbage. This is your fucking championship match, dude. Like, fuck these guys. But,
see, and that's what makes what we do and so many other people, like, I wish Impact would kind of retweet our shit and you know, other people's shit, or like, you know, like Teenage Trojan. Like, so many people write so many positive things, but, you know, unless you're like a diehard Impact fan, you're not going to see the shit where, like, 411 or whatever the fuck else these other stupid bloggers are that just trash the shit.
Mm-hmm. And this
Mecca sucks. I'm just saying, Mecca fucking sucks. All they do is bitch about everything. And I don't give a fuck what TNA Mecca thinks. They stay bitching about Impact.
The thing that this is the reason why FK9, why Kingdom Mountain when they were around, why the HeelCast that we really do this is because people want to slam TNA and they want to make it look like shit. We keep it real. If something sucks, we will say it on the show. If we don't like it, we will say it on the show. That's what the HeelCast is for.
I agree with you 100. Where people have said, yo, Chef, you're mad biased. And I'm like, yo, listen to what the fuck I say on the HeelCast. Because I'm the first person, I'm going to keep it one real, really real. Like, Bram is my dude, and I got mad love for the guy. But the whole DCC shit was fucking whack. And I've said it's been whack, and they fucking dropped the ball on this since day one. And this is somebody that I consider I'm cool with and shit. And then if I could say that, that's keeping it real. That's saying, yeah, that nigga's mad cool, but, yo, this shit was whack. Like, we don't just say, oh, man, DCC is hot because it's hot. We don't do that shit. We don't say fucking, you guys, everyone here, we all fuck with the Decay. When the Decay shit made no sense, we was like, yo, they're fucking jobbing. DCC is jobbing. Like, yo, we keep this shit really real. We're not some fucking marks that just say, oh, this shit is hot. This shit is dope. Like, we don't do that shit.
Stuff like this is why I like doing this show. Because when I started, getting into this whole community years ago now, one of my mottos was that I'm not going to be a cheerleader. I'm not going to champion the show just because that's the company I back. No, if they do something stupid, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to call them on it. Because if you're just being a cheerleader, if you're just being like the mindless fanboy who's going to cheer and champion everything they do just to be supportive or whatever, how is that helping? That's not giving honest feedback. It's not telling them what they're doing wrong. If they don't know what you like and what you don't like, then they're not going to know what they need to improve and what they need to make better. It's just stupid. If you're going to give feedback, give honest feedback or don't give any at all. It's just dumb.
Absolutely. And, why we do this is because we give an honest take on Impact Wrestling. We love Impact Wrestling. We want to see Impact get the credit that they deserve. And when this is the standard, dude, this shit is garbage. This is a spectacle. I'm not going to hate on it. Right now there's a women's match going on after their title match. Good for them for showing love to their women's division. Here comes Mickie James, TNA Mickie James. But, this is the thing that we do it because people want to bash on it, and this is their best show of the year. And I'm not going to lie, Slammiversary kicked the shit out of this show by a lot. But it's just people have an open mind. And open your mind to it, and that's all I'm going to say. Let's try and get back on track now. We had Andrew Everett come out in a match, and he got the victory over DJZ, the former X Division champion. Now, Hurricane Helms came out. This was a good match. They're giving the X Division some time. I think Andrew Everett's going to be a star now. Hurricane Helms, whatever you want to call him, come out. He kind of knocked him and said, "Oh, you got your first winning streak. You're 1-0." And kind of tease that he's nowhere near the world title or the X Division championship contention for that. It seems like they're building to Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee, which is something I'm excited for. I think this feud could be huge for the X Division. I think it's time they put the belt and pull the trigger on to Andrew Everett. But FK9, what were your thoughts on this match and Andrew Everett getting the victory over the former champ DJZ?
I was really excited to finally see a one-on-one match in the X Division. It seems like more often than not, it's just the big multi-man car spot fests, and the one-on-one feuds kind of get lost in the shuffle for whatever reason. Not sure why, but it's good to know that this feud is continuing. I lament the loss of the potential tag team we could have had with Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett. Still don't know why they never pulled the trigger on that one. But hey, really good match. I hope the DJZ won't get lost in the shuffle here because after the year he had in 2016, and that would really suck for him because he deserves to get a push out of this. But I'm excited for Andrew Everett, Trevor Lee. Let's see more one-on-one feuds, more one-on-one storylines in the X Division because that's what is really lacking. I think Andrew Everett's getting over really well as a babyface. I think if he just changes up his look a little bit, maybe works on his physique, hits the treadmill a little bit, that they could have a real potential star with that guy. I think everything with his babyface turn has gone really well so far, so here's to not screwing it up.
I completely agree 100% with FK9.
All right. Keep it real there. It was a good match. I agree, dude. Like the fucking one-on-one finally. And it's finally good to see real X Division wrestling, not with Braxton, not with what's his name, Mr. Jive Turkey, Marche Rocket. Guys that really don't fit that X Division mold. It was predictable. Like as soon as he hit that small package, I knew Andrew Everett was going to get the win there. But it's good to see him pushed. I think it's going to be big. Now we go on to the Knockouts burial segment, and so we have this thing where Rosemary St. She kind of went through the division. FK9's girl ODB. Now I know FK9 is not an ODB fan by any stretch of the imagination. I myself actually am. Bam, but so it seems like they're teasing that. The rest of the Knockouts roster empties. There was Casey Quinn or whatever. I don't even know the name of the girl, but he said in our newest Knockout edition is coming out. Like Madison talked, FK9's other homegirl Brandy spoke, but it kind of led to Rosemary and ODB getting out, big brawl with the Knockouts. We'll start off with Chef, as FK9's wanting to give me the bird or something from the looks of what I just read, but we'll start off with Chef before we go into FK9 on this one.
All right, all I'm going to say is Diamante coming out there saying, fuck it, she's not here to talk, she's here to fight. I dig that shit. The girl MJ, the black girl, she is fucking crazy talented. Like, I'm hoping she's on Impact because that chick's going to take shit to another level, and I'm calling it now. I'm a super fan of that girl. Rosemary's a motherfucking beast. Like, when this chick's on a microphone, just let her rip it because ain't nobody could touch her on it. And that's about it because I don't want to see fucking Rosemary versus ODB. I want to see Rosemary versus Diamante, but whatever's whatever.
Yeah, I'll second that one. I like the idea of this segment. I think what made it a little bit awkward was the timing and the execution of it. Because if you were going to do a segment like this, it really should have been after Rosemary won the feud with Jade in 3 kick-ass matches in a row. Not after we saw her kind of get punked out by Brandy Rhodes, of all people, and then beaten up by Diamante. So kind of a strange time to be doing a Knockouts burial segment where she said that she's made the whole division decay and there's no one left. No one left? You've only really defended the title against 2 people. There's quite a few people left. So not sure what they were going for there. I see the intent of it. You want to make Rosemary look awesome. Okay, I'm down with that. Anything that puts Rosemary over, I'm on board with. But doing this segment now, it didn't really make a whole lot of sense. But as soon as she says that there's no one left, I start getting a bad feeling. Okay, no offense to Raven, but I am. I'm not an ODB fan in any sense of the word. So I'm just praying I just get anyone but ODB. I know someone's coming out. Just have it be anyone else. Have it be Gail Kim. I'd take Gail Kim over ODB, but now it's ODB. She's coming out, and she. Look, if I start going on a rant about ODB, we're going to be here for a while. I'm not a fan. I don't like anything about her. I don't like her promos or her matches. I don't like that she basically does this basically been doing the exact same thing for the last 10 damn years. But it seems that since Gail Kim is taking longer to get cleared from her back injury than she thought, we're going to need to kill some time before they pull the trigger on that feud. So in the meantime, we've got ODB coming out wanting a title shot. And ODB being within 100 yards of a Knockouts championship at this point makes me fucking nervous. Because what have we seen in the last couple of weeks? Well, in large part, we've been seeing anyone who represents the previous regime kind of getting thrown under the bus a little bit to put over Jarrett's guys. And ODB is one of those people. They brought her back because Jarrett's a fan. So this makes me very nervous. I'm very scared that they might end Rosemary's title reign prematurely and put the title on ODB just to put over the new regime, which would be fucking stupid. Be a terrible decision. So, ODB, I'm not done. I'm not done. So, I'm just getting started, guys. So, anyway, ODB wants a title shot, and because Rosemary's awesome, she tells her to fuck off, basically. And she tries to leave, but then out comes all these women, many of whom we're seeing for the first time. We don't know who tons of these women are. Madison Rayne, she pretty much points this out. Like, look, I don't know who any of you people are, but if anyone's getting a title shot, it's going to be me. Says the woman who hasn't won a match in, like a year or something at this point. So she did make a good point, but she didn't actually have much of a case for herself either. And then, Brandy Rhodes. Seriously, Brandy Rhodes says that, your mind games didn't work on me, Rosemary, so where's my title shot? I want a title shot. Bitch, you haven't even had a singles match yet. Shut the hell up. You haven't earned that right. Just stand in the background or something. Go find Cody and do something with Moose. Just get the hell away. Stop bothering Rosemary with this bullshit. And, who the hell else was? Oh yeah, Diamante. She just wants to fight somebody, and I appreciated that. And so they start brawling, and then it's ODB and Rosemary kind of splinter off. Well, the weird thing about this is that all these women want title shots, and nobody has a good case. Out comes who the hell is MJ Jenkins? I don't know. Who's Amanda Carolina Rodriguez? Beats the hell out of me, but here they are demanding title shots. Nobody can make a case for themselves. Nobody has a good argument. And ironic, and because of that, strangely enough, the one that actually made the best case for herself was, as Chef pointed out, Diamante. Because she's not asking for anything. She's not demanded to be handed anything. She just wants to fight somebody. And so she easily came off the best in this segment. So I say, hey, you're already doing this thing with LAX and Decay, so there's a feud right there. Feud Rosemary with Diamante. I've been looking at some of her stuff online. She's pretty fucking impressive. So let's see that feud. I'd much rather see that feud than seeing Rosemary having to waste her time with ODB. So Rosemary versus Diamante, I can get behind that in a big fucking hurry. Sadly, it doesn't look like that's the plan right now. And now I'm done.
Bam!
Dude,
That's all I gotta say.
don't,
Bam!
dude, don't start.
Knocked Up was like one of my favorite fucking comedies ever. So when she's giving props to Seth Rogen in that one, Katherine Heigl is apparently like a big bitch in real life. I mean, props to her. That movie was funny. No, I've always been a fan of ODB, and I know FK9 hates her. Do I want ODB to beat Rosemary? No, not at all. I don't want Rosemary to drop the belt, not to her. I want to see Rosemary hold this title until maybe Slammiversary or Bound for Glory. I either want to see her drop it to Gail. Sorry, FK9. It seems like that's where we're going to. I want to see her either drop it to Allie, Gail, or the thing I was thinking for Slammiversary would be a 6-person match with the tag team titles on the line with one team, the Knockouts title on the line with the other, and we have the 3 people in LAX against DK, where DK wants the tag belts, Diamante wants the Knockouts belt, and we have this big crazy match, a 6-person match, let the girls get in there with the guys, hardcore street shit, what the hell's that match called they do every time? The Monsters Ball. Something along those lines. So those are the 3 I want to see her go for, even though I haven't really seen Diamante wrestle yet, but that's what I want to see. But, I have no problem with the ODB Rosemary match. I just don't want to see ODB get the belt. Our next segment, my man EC3 came out, kind of apologized. So it was long-winded a little bit. He said that, he did lose his cool, said some things he didn't mean. Wants to make Impact great with his girl Karen, and that he needs to refocus, rebrand, come back and do what he does best, which is beat everybody. Said he's unbreakable, or when he was unbreakable and undefeated. Said that he's going to be the EC 3-time World Heavyweight Champion. Brought out the Cowboy, James Storm. James Storm and EC3 kind of have a love fest. It was cool. James Storm was saying, where were you when this happened? Where were you when Elix Skipper came off the cage? and so on and so on. You know, there was a love fest, and it sounds so. If I remember right, the fans are going to decide who gets the title shot next week between Storm and EC3. Is that right?
That's what they said. I don't know if that's going to be an online vote or if they're just going to go by crowd reactions in the Impact Zone.
So, like the chef, the crowd reactions in the Impact Zone, that would be you and the 6 or 7 people you hang out with. So, who'd you guys vote for?
I'm not even going to say that because I don't want nobody to get upset.
Sorry for taking a shot at you, Impact Zone. Chef, what'd you think of this segment, man? James Storm getting in the mix, too, for the title.
No, I mean, like, honestly, I thought it was a pretty good segment. You know, I like the fact that, I don't know if you guys pay attention, but if you really look at what EC3 is coming down, we keep telling him, yo, watch his step, because he doesn't want to step on the Impact logo. And you'll catch him, like, he'll actually point to us, because we'll be like, yo, watch his step. Like, it's actually kind of funny. So, I mean, I don't give a shit. Both of these guys are amazing talents. I don't mind EC3 as the champ. I would love to see James Storm as the champ. You know, whatever. I dig both of them.
Just to pick up on something Raven said a minute ago, in terms of what we want the Knockouts to do at Slammiversary, I was thinking since we've got the self-proclaimed King of the Mountain back, and since we haven't seen that match in a while, why don't we bring back the King of the Mountain match, put the Knockouts in it, do Queen of the Mountain? Because I don't think we've ever actually seen that before. So
that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, they've got enough girls to do a really cool one, too.
I think it may have happened one time. I know there was an X Division one, but I was actually thinking about a Queen of the Mountain match not too long ago, too, which was another thing I think would be awesome. I do think it may have happened once, but it needs to happen.
I wasn't sure. I kind of thought, but did that ever actually happen? I wasn't sure. I think it may have, but I don't know when. Maybe our listeners could help us out on this one.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm sure one of our listeners is going to let us know. For some reason, I want to say it happened in Angelina 1 years and years ago, but I definitely do not know for sure.
Memory's failing us.
Even if they do that 6-sided shit, the 6-way match at Slammiversary would be interesting. Instead of the Monsters Ball they've done a million times, maybe do another Valley of Shadows or whatever they call it.
Oh, I hope not. That was lame. All they did was turn the lights down.
Yeah, but it fit the K theme. Like, it was kind of dark. Like, I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, maybe. It also made it hard to see everything. I saw what they were going for. I just don't think it worked. Maybe if they changed the lighting so they could darken it but not make it difficult to see or anything, maybe it would work better. But anyway, back to EC3 and James Storm. The cool thing about this is that Storm is giving EC3 the typical veteran chastises the young up-and-comers speech, where it's like, where were you when I was doing this, and where were you when I was doing that, and everything. That could so easily come off as a heel versus face or face versus heel thing, but no, they were both in babyface mode here. So apparently Storm is very quickly leaving the DCC gimmick behind, which there was decent amount of potential wasted there, but apparently the new regime doesn't like the DCC, so that's done. So I lament what could have been there, but if we're going to use James Storm as a singles guy, I want to see him in the world title picture. So when he says, I want to be a world champion, hell fucking yeah. I mean, where the hell has this James Storm been? This is what I want to see. The only problem is I don't want to choose between them. The EC3 is my guy, but who the hell deserves it more than James Storm? I don't know. So, but anyway, really, really cool promos here. They're both coming off like big baby faces. EC3, he's obviously got that heel turn coming up at some point, but maybe they're going to tease that on and off for a little bit. So I don't know how they're going to decide this. It's kind of weird that Patron isn't getting the next title shot since he did technically beat Lashley already. So wouldn't he be first in line? I don't know how that works. I don't even know where El Patron is on this show. Haven't seen him in a little while. But we're going to decide it between EC3 and James Storm. Hey, it's another guy in the world title picture. It's a guy that I very much want to see win the world title this year. Both of them, actually. So if this is going to be at least a temporary feud to decide a challenger for Bobby Lashley, God, I can't choose. If you put a gun to my head, I'd say I guess I'd go with James Storm just because it's been his time for a long damn time and he hasn't gotten his time yet. So I guess I'd go with James Storm, use the loss to fuel EC3's heel turn. But hey, the nice thing is either way, we get an awesome challenger for Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the two fucking people I want to be the champion and have wanted to be the champion for a long time are the guys that are going to get the shot. It's just, man, I think EC3 is the guy. EC3 should be their champ, but there's no one I want to be the champ more than James Storm. And if EC3 is a heel versus James Storm is going to headline Slammiversary, which is the Raven Effect's birthday, I am all for it. I hope to God whoever gets this title shot, whether it's Storm or Lashley, beats Lashley. And that's no offense to Lashley because I love Bobby Lashley. He's been a great champ. But it's time. It's time to go elsewhere, at least for a little bit. Because the whole Lashley thing, it's kind of done. And it's time to move forward. But so I guess maybe next week we're gonna find out which one of them gets it. And yeah, El Patron, he beat Lashley. You would assume he's gonna get the title shot. They did mention that Alberto is gonna be back next week. I don't know if he was busy getting married or watching Paige get tag teamed or what, but he hasn't been here. Hey, I've been off for this stuff. I had to come in with that somehow. Man, Undertaker's wife looks like she's on crack, but just...
Oh, man.
Dude, every girl that, the next bitch that won that Divas title and, fucking put it up to her face and kissed it, she better hope she sanitized that belt first. But, anyways, speaking of tag team situation, so, and I don't even know why I said that because Allie's a good girl, but Allie, Braxton Sutter got defeated by KM in his debut. Now, Laura Van Ness, I can't remember if she came out during this part. Actually, we're going to stop here for a sec. Down on. I had to say something.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess speaking of tag team, before we talked that the first match there could have potentially been a tag team between Moose and Cody against Brandy Rhodes, but that's not happening. So we had Moose against Cody for the Impact Grand Championship, which saw Moose retain in the split decision. FK9, what were your thoughts on Moose retaining over Cody?
My thoughts are, where does this feud go now? Because the babyface just got a win over the heel, so doesn't that mean we're kind of done at this point? Or is there going to be or is Cody going to milk some kind of controversy out of him kicking that judge, and then the judge maybe turning against him, and that's why he lost the first round? I don't know. Pretty good match here. I really thought that it was a really cool spot, and I think round 2 where Cody jumped off the top turnbuckle to the floor, Moose caught him and turns it into a power bomb on the ring apron. Really cool stuff. I much prefer Brandy as an extension of Cody when she's in a role like this. She comes off a lot better than when she's trying to fend for herself in the knockout division and coming off like she's just this really entitled little idiot. But yeah, so that was nice. An interesting win for Moose. I don't know where they go with this now, or if Cody's going to disappear again. Good match though. Not a whole lot to say about it otherwise.
I dug Brandy. I like Brandy ringside. I think she's cool as shit. But I agree with the fans. They should have gave it one more round. I think it deserved one more round. It felt very like a draw. So, I think it should have definitely went one more round. But fuck the Bullet Club. So let's go Moose and whatever y'all want to talk about next.
Bro, fuck the Bullet Club. It was a good match. I forgot about the judge getting kind of knocked out and taken back there and whatnot. But, it was... Dude, the American Nightmare is legit. Cody Rhodes, Cody is legit. The guy has definitely shown me stuff more than he did when I used to see him in the WWE years ago. I think he's definitely shown that he has a lot of potential. The thing, here's the thing is, you cannot tell me if this was anywhere near real that Cody Rhodes' scrawny ass would stand a half of a chance in a fight with Moose. This shit would last shorter than Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar's garbage-ass match I just saw. Moose would hit him a couple times and it would be fucking over. He would drop and be knocked down unconscious. it's hard for me to see a guy that looks like Cody in there with Moose because I can't buy that Cody would stand a chance. I think they're doing good with Moose in the Grand Championship. It was a good match. These two were both great. Moose is a much better performer than people give him credit for, and they put the belt on the right guy. And I'm sure Cody will come back. I'm sure it's not the end of it either, and we'll see where it goes from there. So the other thing is we had KM in his debut match defeat everyone's favorite wrestler, Braxton Sutter. Chef, what were your thoughts on KM's debut and getting the win over Braxton Sutter here? Because I know you hate to see your favorite wrestler, Braxton Sutter, do the job.
You know what? I know FK9 feels a certain way about the new guys kind of the new guys beating all the Impact guys from before. But like I keep saying, if they would come in and they lost to everybody that's been there, like if they've lost to the Brams and the EC3s and everybody else, you wouldn't find them credible. So I got no problem with these guys coming in and picking up some wins to give them some kind of momentum. And for fans to kind of be like, oh, okay, these guys are all right. They're actually beating somebody. Real fans will sit there and be like, well, look, what the fuck? But, KM, I dig the guy. I don't give a fuck what they say about his past, punches some fan in the face in ROH or whatever. But, I like the guy. I think he looks good. He's a big dude, looks pretty clean in the ring. I've seen a little bit. I want to see more. But, beating Braxton Sutter, is that like, as much as I think he's a really awesome guy, I don't think anybody gives a shit that he lost.
Well, just to explain myself a little bit on the guys from the previous regime jobbing out, I don't have a problem with people doing jobs to put over the new talent on their way in, but my point is that you need to protect the people who need to be protected, like the Decay, for example, something that hasn't been happening as much as I would like. So, yeah, you have to put over the new people, but it's also important to keep the established people looking strong enough so that putting them over actually means something. Anyway, good match. I like KM so far. I think I want to see more of him before I make any judgments before I decide anything. But cool finisher. Sutter comes off a lot better when they're not trying to force him into the X Division. Because when you see him in those X Division matches, it's an awkward fit. It's never not going to be an awkward fit, but he doesn't wrestle that style. But you put him in a match like this, it works a lot better. KM wins. All right, you get the alley distraction because of Sienna on the outside. All right, that's fine. That's cool. I think next step is we got to get Allie in the ring. We got to see her doing more stuff in the ring because her momentum has been slowed since the wedding angle. So let's see her doing stuff. She's developed enough as a character that she can fight back now. She can wrestle a little bit at least. So let's see her versus Sienna or a mixed tag. That'd be cool too. But then we get the drunken, jilted bridezilla Laurel Van Ness coming out at the end there, and just boring holes into them with her eyes and just screaming bloody murder and shit. And she's still sucking on that bottle of champagne that she's been drinking for like a month and a half or something. And man, I really hope they've got something big planned for Laurel Van Ness, because it can't be stressed enough how much she's just crushing this gimmick right now. I look forward to seeing her every week at this point because I know she's gonna be this shit is just gonna be hilarious. She's doing awesome work. So maybe if they want to, I don't know if this is going to turn into a 3-way feud or something, but I like that they've still got kind of the ladies squad teaming up on Allie in light of Maria's tragic departure. So maybe they're going to add some new people to this. They could put Brooke in there or something when she comes back. That'd be cool too. But yeah, good segment. I like what I'm seeing from KM so far. I just want to see more. And next step is let's get the women more involved.
Laura Van Ness she's tearing it up, man. She looks like, if you've ever seen the Sweet Dreams music video for Marilyn Manson, like if you put blonde hair or if you put black hair on her, like she would look identical to how Manson does in that video, which it's pretty ill to me. But It's definitely got the work. It was impressive for KM to come out. The one thing I do think that kind of sucks is I really think since this new regime has taken over, I think both Ali and Rosemary have kind of taken a back seat to what they were doing, which I feel is a mistake because I think those are two people that were red hot that should be built into a big feud. It's good to see Sienna get more of a boost. This KM dude's actually pretty impressive. It's good to see Braxton Sutter job. And I don't want to hate on Braxton Sutter too much. Like he's trying. He's out of the X division, so I'm going to give him that kind of a. I guess I'm going to support him there. I'm not going to hate him when he's not in the X division, but it definitely is a better fit for him to be out of there, like FK9 said. But there it is for that. So we move on to the main event. And guys, this is what I really, really like, is that the title matches. I could be wrong. I don't know if the Impact title went on before KM versus Braxton or not, but the title match at the very end, the main event, the headliner, which it should be. The title should be important. They should any title match should be the last match on the card. And so we have LAX winning the tag team championships, so the new LAX. And dude, I gotta say, like, Garza and Laredo Kid have impressed the shit out of me. And dude, the new cats in LAX impressed the shit out of me too. Like both of those four guys as new teams, like these guys are dope as fuck. So LAX, live and die in LAX, new tag team champions. And I also want to mention, like, these vignettes with LAX. I think Diamante kind of sucks as an actress, but dude, I love the vignettes. I think it's like some old school NWA they always got playing in the background. You got Conan cursing. Like, it's some Attitude Era type of shit. They're not backing down with language, but the vignettes are fucking sick too. You know, it's like some real gangster shit that's on there. It's like TNA's not backing down. They're really showing, like, what these dudes are, from and about. And I think these vignettes have been really, really, really beneficial to LAX. I'll let Chef kind of close it up on the tag team match. So, FK9, what were your thoughts on LAX winning in the tag team match in general?
I agree. I'm becoming a big fan of, even though their tag team lost, Garza Jr. This guy is already standing out to me. It's kind of bizarre how he's turned tearing his pants off mid-match into a gimmick. I'm already looking for, every time this guy has a match, I'm already looking forward to seeing him tear his pants off. #no homo. But the guy is standing out. I'm looking for, this guy could be a breakout star, I think, with a little help from management. So I hope he gets that. Cool match, maybe a little bit chaotic at times. I guess we all kind of expected LAX to get the victory, even though I think the Decay going over was probably the better call. Would have given them more to work with, because if you've reestablished this team that's supposed to be this big force of nature, and now they haven't been booked that way in a little bit. Now they've kind of cooled off. So instead, you've got this new LAX faction as the tag team champions, and now they've got their best available feud is with a team they used to be hot and now isn't so hot at the moment. So I thought Decay going over would have been better. Would have been the better decision. Regardless, I am digging the new LAX a lot. So that's cool. I expect we're going to get a lot of mileage out of this gimmick. It seems to be getting pretty hot pretty quickly. So good on them for that. Not really digging Reno Scum yet. I'm not getting anything from these guys. Their gimmick is silly to me. I don't care for it. So I'm not sure where they're going. Right now, I assume this is building to LAX versus the Decay at Slammiversary. I'd like to see that. That'd be cool. But yeah, good main event. I like seeing the focus back on the tag team division. We've got not just because it was the a title match, but because we've also got a whole division to rebuild and revamp here. So it was nice to see them getting some attention in the main event spot. And they've done a lot of work on it in a pretty short time. So good.
I'm going to be completely honest. I'm a fan of every single tag team that was in that match. I like Reno Scum. Laredo Kid and Garza Jr. are fucking incredible talents. Obviously, I'm an LAX guy. Obviously, I like the Decay. It's just 4 fucking dope groups going in. Fucking LAX, I'm super fucking happy for. These guys are amazing talents. They're doing some bugged out shit in the ring. They're keeping it real street for people like me who appreciate it. All I'm going to say is the fucking Impact Zone is still owned by the Decay, so they'll still get their love over LAX. I think, honestly, if they do this right, this is going to be one of the dopest feuds ever. Because, I mean, let's face it, Crazy Steve is his body of work, and since 2016 going to 2017, solo-wise, he's just been on motherfucking fire. Like, Crazy Steve is a machine. He's doing his fucking thing. LAX is doing their thing. I think if they do this right, this tag team division can be one of the best we've seen. Like I said, I don't want to act like a fucking mark, but I like everybody going in. I'm really, really excited. Like I said, I thought it was a really fucking awesome match to watch. So LAX all day. They're back in the motherfucking cut to live and die in LAX.
Imagine the potential promo battles we could get with the Decay versus Conan.
Woo!
Yeah, get excited for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let Crazy Steve shine a little bit too. Obviously we know what Rosemary can do, what Conan K-Dog can do. Dude, I guess I'm with FK9. Like, I'm not fucking digging Reno Scum yet. I'm just not into him. Garza and Laredo Kid, dude, I guess I'm showing my age and shit, but, like, I remember watching Hector Garza. I know WWF, I think they brought him in, like, Royal Rumble, I think it was 94, 95. They tried to do something with him. It didn't work, but I remember seeing him in the WCW Cruiserweight division for a while. So I remember Hector Garza, and it's kind of embarrassing just to feel that old, but, I like him, and I like Laredo Kid a lot. Like, they've shined to me. And LAX, the new guys, apparently they were in CZW as EYFBO, which was entertaining your fucking balls off, is apparently what it stood for. These guys have been awesome, man. I do want to see Homicide get back in there because I love Homicide. Diamante, I want to see her wrestle because, dude, her talking and promos, they need some work as far as, like, acting skills. She could learn a lot from Rosemary. But, I don't think that DK and Rosemary have been booked so strongly with this new group at all, and I think that's a shame because DK's a hot act, and I do think Crazy Steve is a star that should be coming up. Abyss has been there since the start. He's the only guy that's been there from the start that hasn't left at all. He's Mr. TNA in his own right. But it was a good match. My complaint is give the match more time and do elimination rules. Like, I'm tired of this one pinfall stuff. Do elimination rules. That's what I want to see happen, and that's what I think wrestling needs. I enjoy the fact that this closed the show. I enjoyed the fact that this was the headliner of the main event. The tag team titles made it to feel important. To live and die in LAX. LAX is back, champions. Definitely some good wrestling matches that we're going to have coming up in the tag teams. Rafi from the league and Yokozuna coming back in. We got some more teams coming in to Impact, so the tag team division could be back. But it was an entertaining show. That's kind of all I got for the HeelCast this week. I don't know, FK9 Chef, you guys got any closing thoughts at all before we head out?
Nah, all I'm going to say is for my Three Brooms people coming from the April 20th to the 23rd, we coming strong on recruiting more people for the Impact Zone. I can't wait to have my people blow up and go crazy.
Nah, I got nothing. I think I talked myself out with those two little rants I went on earlier. Sorry about that, by the way. I was just holding that in for a long time.
That was good shit. No need to apologize. That's what the HeelCast does. Look for the HeelCast. I am the RAV Raven Effect signing off from my man Chef, my man FK9. Hope everyone is not enjoying WrestleMania the same fucking way I have thought this show has sucked dicks. Keep watching Impact Wrestling. Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards is coming Thursday. HeelCast out. Have a good weekend.